This is Vanessa Lake, the Purple Couch Lady, and this is the question I received. It's been years since I've been in the military, but on the anniversary of the death of my friends, I still feel like it just happened yesterday. I get really depressed, avoid people, close myself off in my room, and it takes several days for this to pass. It's been years. I feel like I should be over it by now, but I dread these couple of dates every year. How can I finally move on? Well, if you're still being triggered with these intense emotions that feel so raw, it sounds like unresolved grief, similar to unresolved trauma. When an emotional event happens, the brain processes by taking the data from the left side and the emotions from the right side, expressing these emotions, not just shoving them down, numbing them, or ignoring them, and then it creates meaning from the experience. Like a moral to any story. What did you learn from it? What did that event teach you about yourself, other people, the world, your values and beliefs? If it's a painful experience, the brain also wants to know if there's anything it can do in the future to prevent such a threat to your survival, whether that's physical or emotional. It wants to create a game plan. If both sides of the brain don't work together to process this event, it doesn't get filed away and it just stays like an open folder on your table. And whenever those reminders, like an anniversary, comes up, the brain takes out the folder and brings up the parts that aren't healed. You can start by asking yourself, like, which steps didn't you process? After their death, did you allow yourself to feel the emotions, whatever those emotions were? Did you express those emotions in a healthy way? It's not avoiding, numbing, just breaking shit or, drinking it away. And what meaning did you give to their death? This can include things like knowing life is short and making sure you don't waste moments on things that don't matter years from now, or making sure you tell people how you feel about them before it's too late, or living your life to the fullest as a way to honor those that didn't get to live out their dreams. Meaning is different for each person, but there are some positive meanings that can come from being faced with our limited time on Earth. Mostly, what you choose to do with the time you have. The next thing to understand is the emotional brain itself. Yes, I know the emotional brain is not just found in one section on the right side, but it's a simple way to do this, so go with me. The emotional brain has no concept of time or space. It's for the rational, data driven, linear left brain. Since your emotional brain doesn't give two shits about time, it doesn't know that on this date, at this time, so many years ago, your friend lost their life and is physically no longer here. It just feels. And it feels like the connection to the person is still very much alive. Think about babies, okay? They freak out when their mom leaves the room because they think if they're physically not seen, then they're gone forever. Oh my gosh, like it's so bad. She's never coming back. And they cry and they freak out. And the mom comes back and they're like, hey, okay, I'm good again. As they get older, they understand just because a person isn't in the room or they can't see them doesn't mean that they aren't here. And they can be happy knowing that they will see them and talk to them later. That's your emotional brain. Knowing that just because a person is physically not here doesn't mean they stopped caring about them. Well, they left the room. I better stop having any feelings for them. They're gone, so are my feelings. Nah, it does not work that way. So, when someone dies and they are truly physically not here, the emotional brain still has feelings and emotional needs for connection. It wants to talk, touch, see, hear that person. It wants to feel like they are still here by watching their favorite movies or hearing a song that you listen to together and you've got good memories around that. This makes them feel like they're still here and still alive. To help heal this wound, give your emotional brain what it needs. First, to express your emotions. It's okay to miss them. Say you wish that they were here and to share these experiences with you, or that you're angry that they're gone, that they were taken too soon and it's not fair, or you feel guilty that they died and you're still here. Whatever you feel, there are no wrong feelings, so simply express them. Release them through your words, your tears, through music, and playing songs that express how you feel. It's very right brain. This is why funerals or memorials are so important to the right brain. It creates a space with other people to express how you're feeling as you share memories and stories of the person. It's also a fully acceptable time and place to openly express sadness and cry. People expect it, and so you can feel less self conscious about appearing weak or emotional. Funerals, like many ceremonies, have existed throughout time in every culture to attach a physical and emotional experience to that linear left brain time and date. Having ceremonies marks the passage of time, like a sweet 16 party or a bar mitzvah, or to close a chapter of your life with a graduation or a retirement party. These events are important to the emotional brain because it combines the data, that part of your life journey that's over on this date and this phase starts, with the emotions of the celebration or collective grief, which can share both the joys and sorrows about losing someone, celebrating the good times and being grateful that you got to have them in your life, even for that limited time, being sad that the time has ended. So bittersweet. You need both sides of the brain activated to integrate the experience to truly file it away so it's not so raw and kind of coming up later with triggers. Avoiding funerals, memorials, or at the very least, not even creating your own, prevents the emotional brain from connecting the data on the left that says, oh, wait, they're physically gone. I can't just call them tomorrow. You've got to connect the emotional with the data. So, to help the brain process the loss, if you've not attended a funeral, and I know many people who don't attend funerals, even for people they truly love and care about, there's a lot of negativity, that's sadness, they don't know what to say, they don't know how to comfort other people, they themselves don't know how to be comforted. So, I understand why this is avoided. But in order to give the emotional brain what it needs with this level of closure, it's to create your own ceremony to honor that loss, whatever that looks like to you. That includes acknowledging that they're gone and expressing your emotions about it while doing something that activates the right brain: movement, art, music, using your senses with touch, smell, taste. This could be lighting scented candles or having a bonfire, playing songs that express how you feel and that you have shared memories, expressing how you feel and how you want to remember them with your own eulogy. Writing those statements of how you want to remember them. Having a honorary dinner with their favorite foods. That's your sense of taste and smell. Physical movement can be included with memorial walks, bike rides, motorcycle or regular, 5K races. These are all ways to remember someone while integrating the right brain and help process the loss. Another barrier to emotional closure can include leaving things left unsaid if someone is taken suddenly. Remember, your right brain doesn't understand time and space, so they don't know that they aren't physically here. And so you can, in fact, talk to the person. I suggest writing them a note and a card or a letter and saying all the things you didn't get to say, how you appreciated them, or how you feel like you let them down. It doesn't matter what needs to come out, just let it. This is the emotional expression. And then for the ceremony part of releasing physically, just burn the letter or card and say something like, I let go of this grief and hold on to the good, or I let go of this grief and I'm ready for the next chapter of my story. Something that tells your right brain to move on, because you're just using left brain data because just trying to use the left brain data to try and convince the right brain to let go of emotions will not work. Your emotional brain will still want to be connected to this person, but it doesn't need to feel painful. Once it's processed, you can simply give the emotional brain the connection it needs, which has nothing to do with making any sense in the left brain. So if you feel like you wish you could call up your buddy and tell him you just shot an 8-point buck, do it. Talk out loud as if they were there and tell them. Your emotional brain holds the emotional memories of that person's personality. So on that subconscious level, it knows how that person would respond or what they'd say. Allow that to come through. Talk with your friends or family about them and say, oh man, if they were here right now, I know exactly what he'd say. Oh, he'd give me a hard time about this. Oh, he'd kick me in the ass. He'd tell me to get my shit together. Like, what they would say. Allow that to come through. Connections are not physical. They are emotional, and you can keep them. If you found this information helpful, please share it with others. And if you have your own questions about mental health, bringing work home, or if you're a loved one trying to understand what they're going through, just leave your questions in the comments below or send me an email. If you're looking for more resources, check out my website. You'll find free downloads, blog posts, information on the Therapy90, a device that activates your calming nervous system, a national providers list of therapists who specialize in working with officers and first responders, and you can sign up for my monthly newsletter. Check out the links in the description.